Welcome to this week's episode of Feasting on Football. We're in the Sawmill Square Mall here at Corn Dog 7, where everything is what, Murph?
Corn dog.
And better than good. Why Corn Dog Week, huh?
I thought I smelled corn dogs all day in the office. You smell like corn dogs.
I do smell like corn dogs.
Why are we eating corn dogs?
And I'm happy to smell like corn dogs. It's always nice to have corn dogs. You know, some people want to refer to LSU fans as corn doggers. So they smell like cornies and, you know, eat a lot of corn dogs. Whatever.
What do you think?
I have no problem with it. I enjoy corn dogs. You?
I don't mind a good corn dog, especially when Corn Dog 7. Better than good. Why are we eating them today? What's significant about this week and the corn dog?
I think it's kind of a big week down in Baton Rouge with LSU hosting Ole Miss.
It's a huge week.
That's one?
That's one.
No more?
And that's it. He's about to get fired. We actually have a reserve second-string producer here looking to take his job, so we're excited about that. Big one down in the Bayou coming in. I didn't give him a chance, Guru, but watching him whoop Kentucky this past week.
Slow down.
All right, I'm sorry.
You know we have more to cover.
You know how I get ahead of myself, Guru. I get ahead of myself.
Some big games in the Free State this Friday night. Battle for the belt game when South Jones goes over to So-So to battle the Mustangs.
West Jones sounded very impressive against Wingfield. Again, anybody could sound impressive against Wingfield. South Jones looked like they struggled. You were over at Old Brook. I went up to Decatur for Northeast Jones. How did West look? Looks like McLaurin is the real deal this year.
Blowing and going. They're averaging over 400 yards of offense in all four of their Region 3 5A wins this year. Man, they're going to be tough. I really don't think it'll be that much of a game, if you will. I mean, the Mustangs they're just rolling right along. South Jones, like you said, struggling. A little bit of rebuilding for head coach Corey Reynolds and staff out there. So I go Mustangs.
It's homecoming out there at West, so they'll be excited about that too. But is it East? I thought it might be at both.
Maybe it's at both.
I think it's at both.
We did a poor job of planning for our high school coverage this week. So Northeast Jones, you got to see them and the beast from Northeast, Reggie O'Dean.
Offense struggled on both sides of the ball. Northeast defense really came to play. They were very impressive. Didn't let Newton hardly get down the field at all. Just threw a shutout. Coach Braddock, ecstatic, jumping up and down. He was excited. The players were excited. They win their last two. They win the division.
Win the region.
They win the region, and that's huge. And you get a home playoff game, and that's
it's big this week against Northeast Lauderdale because I think if they get the win there, they almost assure themselves of nothing worse than a second place finish, and that still gets you a home playoff game. And you know as well as I do, once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. But when you start out as a number 1 or number 2 seed, playing at home,
you're right.
It makes it a lot easier when you don't have to start out going right out on the road to play somebody. Bit of a big one between the bricks right down the road from us here Friday night. Laurel,
the school that starts slow every game, they better have it laced up, zipped up, tied up, buttoned up, you name it, because when Wayne County comes to town, it is on. And they are, like they always do. And we used to joke back in Vicksburg, we used to think that Coach Boyles used to, shepherd a few people out the back door when they would do reclassification, keep them at 5A. They don't want to go to 6A, but somehow that train keeps rolling. And I don't know what they have in the water over there in Wayne County, but they just keep rolling.
I mean, I'm going to tell you this. We actually were talking about Wayne County and their defense last week when I was out and so talking with Scott Pearson. And, I mean, this is a man that's been in high school coaching for nearly 25 years. It's the best high school defense he's ever seen that they have ever had. And that's kind of scary. I mean, I know they're big up front defensively, and he says they have guys that can cover Laurel receivers one-on-one. So, I mean, this is a statement game for Laurel. I mean, they already have one region loss. If they fall to Wayne County, it's likely going to come down to the final battle for the belt game when they have to go out and play West Jones, and those two will be playing for 2 and 3. So if Laurel, wants to keep pace at the top of the region, Wayne County game's huge.
And watch out. I mean, if Pearl River keeps winning, if they end up with 2 losses, Laurel could end up in the 4th spot.
Yep.
So this is a very big game, and they're going to have their hands full with Wayne County. They're rolling and loaded.
Be a good game. As good as the Wayne County defense is, I don't know if Laurel has enough firepower to overmatch them, but we'll have to wait and see till Friday.
Oh, it's going to be a good one. Weather again's going to be great, which is the best this time of year for high school football. Is phenomenal.
I must say, we owe an apology to JC.
Oh,
We wrote them off as dead, done, kaput, but then the Bobcats find a way.
I voted for Coach Murphy's. I said they were going to win fairly easily. I like Coach Murphy up at Hines. Jones coming off in East Central. Are they kind of turning into Georgia? You really can't peg them?
It's looking like it. I mean, a 52-45 win over Hines last week gets them back in the playoff discussion.
Tell you, if they win this week, they're in the playoffs. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Because
what happens if they get in the playoffs? Who they going to play?
They go play East Miss, which is basically the 85 Bears.
And East Miss drubbed them a few weeks ago, and they'll be back on the road in Scuba. I don't know. This is a toss-up game. It's Thursday on the road at Co-Lin. Co-Lin's battling. If Co-Lin wins the game, they finish first in the South, so they'll miss out on East Miss in the first round of the playoffs. So, big game for both teams.
I tell you, if you want a treat, get off at the Co-Lin exit off of 55. I don't know which way you'll be going, but there's a place called the Country Junction Truck Stop. And they used to sell T-shirts that were orange with blue writing, and it just said, "Got gas?" with a question mark. We always love those shirts. Got gas at the Country Junction.
Might have to stop in there and see if they still got any Got Gas T-shirts.
Hey, they're the best. We know you would like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was alluding to. So, as crazy as it's been the last 3 weeks and picking the Bobcats, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to take JC. Road win to get in the playoffs.
I'm going Co-Lin, home win, keep the Bobcats from going to the playoffs.
All right, fair enough. You hate JC. Just go ahead and say it.
Okay, I do. I really do. No, I don't. Not at all.
So, college slate is not as big this week as it has been the past few weeks, especially in the SEC. Shocking win, as far as we're concerned, last week was Southern Miss going to Denton, knocking off the Mean Green.
I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of apologizing toward the end of this show because they played really well. I didn't think they had a chance to beat, especially not at North Texas. I said they're not going to win, and they came out and handled them. How do you like this? Handled them handily. I will say that.
Handled them handily. I like it.
And I was impressed. They got. This is the blackout game. Last week I thought they were home. I was wrong. This is the blackout game this week against La Tech. And who knows? 3 wins this season. I didn't think they'd win 3. And they might win a couple more before it's all said and done this year.
La Tech's a good team, though. La Tech's 3-0 in Coosa play this year. They lead their division. Might have been able to see the reading on the wall if we went a little bit more in depth with North Texas last week. They hadn't really beaten anybody of significance. They didn't really have that good of a record. But when you're talking about a team that, at that point, have won, 3 games in almost their last 30?
Mm-hmm.
It's still hard to pick the Eagles.
That's probably what we took into account, that their history, they've been so bad so recently that we just said they're not going to win. But I got faith in them. USM,
go with them?
9.5-point dogs? No. But it's going to be really close. I think Louisiana Tech in a squeaker.
I thought you were going to kind of make it even since I went ahead and went with JC. I figured you'd pick Southern Miss.
I'm still trying to come back and catch you. Did a good job last week.
I don't agree with the squeaker. I think La Tech by 14.
By 14?
Yeah.
In Southern Miss's world, that's a squeaker.
La Tech covered the spread. Next game, that was one you were chomping at the bit before last week.
I was excited. I was really considering that as my upset special. I watched Kentucky come out against LSU, lay an egg, go to the bathroom in the bed. They were awful.
Obliterated in Death Valley.
Was LSU that good, or was Kentucky just play that bad?
I'd have to say a little bit of both.
Now, you LSU guys really can handle them corn dogs, can't you?
Of course. It's in our blood. I bleed corn dog. Mississippi State on the road, up in Lexington, CBS 2:30 game. Dogs are laying almost 2 touchdowns. I think with the week off that they had, or coming off of, I just think they're going to be too rested, too prepared. They were probably in Stark Vegas watching the LSU-Kentucky game, and As long as they don't go in overconfident after watching what LSU was able to do to Kentucky, I think the Dogs should go up there and take care of business.
You know, I joked last week that CBS would never go to Kentucky to cover a primetime game. And obviously before they played LSU, they scheduled that. So it's Kentucky and State on the primetime 2:30 game. And I'm sure they're all kicking themselves in the backside for that one. Because there's another one in the SEC that's just a little bit bigger.
South Carolina at Auburn?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
The Cox and the Tigers?
And the Tigers.
Are the Cox going to be inept this week? Do you think they'll be able to stand tall against Auburn on the road?
I think Auburn, the Tigers are going to stand tall against the Cox for a little while, maybe 3 quarters, and then pull away. I think that'll be close for a while. Spurrier will keep it close, especially he needs a big win. And
he ain't getting a big win.
He's not getting a big one. I'll agree with you. Auburn's going to win. They got to keep track with the rest of the beasts.
Yeah, because they're already one down. I mean, the beasts in the West.
That's a beast in the East.
We'll call it the best of the West. But yeah, I mean, a loss by Auburn, they'd be done in the SEC race. I think they're too much for the Cox to handle on the Plains. I'd say Auburn. I don't know if they cover the 17.5, but I think they win.
At times, the Cox have looked impressive this year, though. They have.
Your boys, Alabama. It's that time of year. Late October.
Phyllis. You think she was happy this week?
Oh, Phyllis.
She won some of that education money back for her grandkids.
Education money back.
59-0 in a million years. I never saw that one coming.
I mean, I don't think it's big for Alabama beating A&M that they scored 59. I think what was most shocking is that they shut out the Aggies. And I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, that's the first time in the head coaching career of Kevin Sumlin that's ever happened.
Have you seen a team go to the Porta-John as fast as Texas A&M has this year?
No.
This is unbelievable watching them. They were very highly regarded at the beginning of the season. And now I don't think, they'd have a tough time beating your meat intramural team nowadays. I mean, they're just awful.
So
they're awful.
A&M can't beat your meat even?
No way. No chance. Alabama's going to clobber. Alabama all over Tennessee. Okay. Rocky toppled, you name it.
All right, so spread 17. Tennessee's giving up 17. Alabama covers it?
Ole Miss spread was 19.5 over Tennessee, and I picked Tennessee to cover, and I was terribly wrong. And I don't think 17 is going to be even near close enough.
Does Tennessee score?
Yes.
Do they score more than they did against Ole Miss?
The same. No, wait, they'll get a safety. They'll score 5. They'll score 5.
All right.
And it'll be 3-0 Tennessee. And there'll be some fans of Tennessee that we know will be jumping up and down and just
thinking, oh, we got a chance.
Oh, we got a chance. We got a chance. Nah, no chance.
Then Bama scores the next 41, and then they, late in the game, snap one over the punter's head.
Just when the band is on the field.
Alabama 41, Tennessee 5.
Yep.
Fair enough. Murph, I think we have some more apologizing.
That's all we do on this darn show anymore is apologize to everybody.
It's upset picks of the week time. We're going to mix things around a little bit this week. Who do we owe apologies to there?
First, we need to give some big-time props to David Warren and Michael McNeely. David Warren of Laurel, Michael McNeely of Ellisville.
Sorry, guys.
Picking the Golden Eagles. We made fun of you. We laughed at you. We were wrong.
We were bad wrong. So
if you want to deliver us a humble pie, 318 North Magnolia, we'll happily eat it.
Two thumbs up to
great
Mr.
picks.
McNeely and Mr. Warren.
Great picks.
Great picks. However,
Ruth,
it's something new. First time we've done it this year. The game of the week and the upset pick of the week are one in the very same game.
Did you see that go?
I didn't. I was going to let it go, so maybe they missed it. What game are we referring to there, Murph?
Was it the game I picked last week?
Oh, hold on. You hear that?
I thought you were going to forget. I thought you were going to forget my John Denver.
Is that John Denver?
Almost heaven.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
West Virginia.
West Virginia over Baylor. That was an outstanding pick. I didn't think you would pull it off. The Mountaineers look pretty good playing at home.
Really good. From what I understand, won a friend of ours some money in the process,
I tell you, we won't even mention who I picked because they didn't perform very well. They were down huge before even halftime. So the people...
And, who's riding a 3-game upset winning streak right now?
That would be you.
All
My 3-game streak's over. Now we're tied at 4-4 and upset.
Do I see almost a bow there? Do I almost see a bow? No bow yet?
We'll have to wait. If you get ahead of me.
All right.
But I don't think you're going to get ahead of me this week.
Get out of here.
For the first time, hold on.
What's that?
You hear that?
We got some breaking news.
Is that coming across the news wire? There's breaking. Oh, what is that? Oh, a little tiger bait. Hey,
Tiger bait.
we talk about her every week. Thumbs down to you, Ruth Ishii. Ole Miss is not going to beat LSU this week. But however, we will give thumbs up to John Rainwater, Devin Knight, and Caleb Jeffcoat, who agree. They agree. LSU over Ole Miss.
You're picking LSU to beat Ole Miss, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, I've thought about this, and I've thought about it. I love watching Ole Miss's defense. Bo Wallace struggled a little bit the last game. Don't know what to expect about him. I think there's a fella named Leonard Fournette is going to run crazy. Everyone in the world to know his name. Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Tigers.
And you know, hey,
Tigers.
you know, it hasn't really happened since the first game, the first half against Boise State. You know, Wallace is good to have a big letdown game. And strange things happen.
And it's
Saturday night in Death Valley.
You know, they start drinking right after the high school game is over. They get their spot. They're making the gumbo in the middle of the night. By 7 o'clock in the morning, half of them are in the bag. They're ready to
More
go.
than half, getting ready, eating some more corn dogs, getting ready for the game. I tell you, somebody asked me, when's the last time LSU was a home underdog on a Saturday night in Death Valley? I thought about it.
Was it Jerry DiNardo?
I thought about it. I think it goes way
Far
back
back?
further than that.
When was it, do you know?
It was almost Halloween this year. That year it was Halloween.
Wow.
When a very highly ranked Ole Miss team came to Death Valley.
Wow.
Maybe back to 1959, and old Billy Cannon and an 89-yard punt return, and LSU sprung the upset. It happened then, and it's going to happen again on Saturday night.
I love that
You
pick.
love it?
I love it. I think you got it. Ole Miss is
I like
done.
your Fournette pick. I think I would love to see that. I've been waiting on that all year. He had a solid game against Kentucky. He's played so-so throughout the rest of the year. But I think I'm on with you. I like
This is
that.
going to send quite the monkey wrench into the SEC West. If you give Ole Miss a loss, then Alabama's going to win. They'll have one loss. Auburn has one loss. How many Tigers have? They only have one still?
They've got two in the SEC.
But, there's still a lot of tough games going.
So what if LSU beats Ole Miss, then later in the year, Alabama beats State, Auburn beats Ole Miss?
You're going to have to flip coins. You're going to have to deal cards.
There is a possibility that at the end of the season, we're left with at least 4 SEC West teams with either 1 or 2 losses. That's just going to be crazy.
Not as crazy as Saturday night in Death Valley, my man.
Tiger bait.
Tiger bait. Tiger bait. We want to thank our
Tiger
sponsor,
bait.
Quick Lane Tire and Auto Center up on Highway 15 North in Laurel for letting us do this nonsense that we do.
And also got to thank Corn Dog 7, where it's better than good. Corn dogs are great as always. I mean, coming from an LSU fan, I don't think you can get a better corn dog in Jones County than you can right here at Corn Dog 7.
I have to agree. My first corn dog, 7 corn dog.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Great stuff.
Not nearly as great as what you're going to see Saturday night. Go Tigers.
Absolutely. Hey, until next week, Ole Miss to you to
STDDB.
peace. See ya.
They wanna get my gold on the ceiling. I ain't